If I woke up tomorrow with absolutely nothing to my name, I had zero in the bank account, $0, and I had to provide for my family, for my wife, give food to my kids, and provide for my home, I would not start off by drop shipping. I would not start off by selling crypto, and I would definitely not start off by day trading. I'd go back to the exact environment I was able to grow up in, and that environment is a blue collar business. I grew up at the feet of my father, who's a blue collar business owner, mechanic shop owner, and I was able to learn the needs that the business had and the needs that this specific niche, which is the mechanic shops, specifically have. But the struggles more than that business owners have overall. The amount that I was able to learn from that was exponential. Things that I never even realized I was going to be able to apply in my life are things that now I am applying. In the end of the day, what I'm going to do today is in the next few minutes, I'm going to give you a step-by-step playbook of what I do to personally sell my software to mechanics, to blue-collar business owners without spending a dime on ads. Now, I'm not saying that ads are completely absolute or not important, but in the end of the day, not having to spend on ads and being successful is an amazing thing. Now, with ads, it grows your money, your revenue so much more. It grows your business so much more when you're able to be successful with and without ads. Now, for the step-by-step playbook that I want to go through, the first step I want to walk you through is what I would call the bleeding neck problem. And one of the things my father had down packed was being able to be consistent. But one of the realities that consistency does not bring you is the reality that when the mechanic shop people, when the workers are under the hood of a car and the phone starts ringing, their hands are dirty, they're in the middle of carrying something, they're in the middle of something, they can't drop what they're doing to just answer the call. And I realized that one of the biggest struggles that they had was answering phone calls. And one of the things that I was able to grow up doing was being able to be that secretary that was in the office, that was answering the phone every single time a call came in. Was I nervous? 100%. But I showed up and I did it every single time. When a customer called the shop and no one answered, the reality is that what we potentially lost with not answering the phone was easily $500. It was easily a brake repair or a brake replacement. It was easily an engine replacement. It was easily a transmission replacement that could be more than $500. It could be $2,000. And the reality of what happens when you don't answer the phone, obviously with mechanic shop, we're talking about high ticket, but there's even higher ticket than that in different businesses. But not only that, and even in the smaller businesses, in a bakery, in a restaurant, when you don't answer the phone, what you potentially do is lose that client. And what ends up happening is that when that client goes to your place and stays there and continues to progress and continues to return, what ends up happening is that the lifetime value of that client grows that much more. Obviously, in the mechanic shop, it's way huger. It's a higher ticket. It's a higher expense. But every single time a call was lost, money went out the window. In this case, like I said, a brake job, one call that was missed could easily be $500. You don't need to invent a new business. You just need to find a way to solve a problem. And part of what I was there to do was answer the phone. I was solving the issue that was going on in the shop. But what if I told you that the fact of the matter is that with today's technology, and while secretaries are important, while I think that their roles cannot be fully replaced, answering a phone call can be replaced either through AI systems today or through a text-back system that exists easily with a system like GoHighLevel. Now, I don't want to go too deep into GoHighLevel today, but what I want you to understand is that what I was able to do was learn the problem that existed in mechanic shops and bring a solution. So the bleeding neck problem, which is the first step, is understanding what the issue is. You need to begin to understand whatever the niche, whatever line of work you want to begin to work in. If you want to work with hairdressers, understand what's the struggle that hairdress owners, that beauty salon owners have. What is the issue that they have in their business? Identify the issue, and that's how you're going to be able to later on bring a solution to that issue. Now, before we go there, let's do a quick pause. If you want the actual tactical blueprints on how to build your path to freedom instead of just motivational fluff, hit subscribe. We are building real systems on this channel. We are building real ways to build a business, to develop a business, and to be a successful entrepreneur here. So hit the subscribe button. Now, I know that we talked about that bleeding neck problem where we are identifying the problem, but the next step is identifying the solution, being that solution. When you are the solution to a problem, the market begins to open up to you. Because what happens, the market is open to anyone that is solving a problem. If you're able to solve a problem, you're able to charge money for it. So in the end of the day, sit down, realize what is the issue, whatever niche you want to get into, and whatever specific thing you want to work in, whatever it is that you identify is that you want to work in, find the problem and build the solution. Find the solution and sell that. So that is the second step. Begin to identify what is the solution that you are bringing to the table. In my case, I realized that there's a big issue with answering the phones, which means lost money. There's a big issue with organizational aspects of a small business mechanic shop. So I was beginning to become an operational consultant at the same time while being able to bring a system that could help organize them, that could help answer their calls, that can help call back clients, and that can help do a bunch of different things that business owners struggle to do because they're so busy doing the everyday work that they have to do for the business, the important stuff. And in specific, in mechanic shops, they're so busy fixing a car, they're so busy with their hands dirty that they can't get to a phone, they can't organize the shop, they can't keep track of what cars are coming in and out in an organized manner. So what ends up happening is that they're losing business to the next door organized shop, the next door shop that answers the phone, or the dealer. So in the end of the day, the issue that was there, I was able to find the solution for it and sell that. So whatever the solution is that you need to find, whatever the solution is to the problem that you have found, sell that. And that is how you will begin to develop a way to build the business that you want to build. Find the problem, step one. Step two, find the solution. And step three, I've kind of been talking about a little bit, but is selling it. Now, when it comes to selling it, there's a lot of aspects to it that you need to take into consideration, right? Whether it is something that is going to be cheap that you sell, that is only $10, whether it's something that's $50, $100, or $150, or maybe a high ticket, $1,000 plus item that you're selling. What you need to understand is that the biggest danger you can have as someone that's selling a product, for the most part, this is something that's heavily recommended by people like Gary Vee, like Alex Hormozy specifically. I've heard him say a ton, where you don't want to be found selling something that's in the middle. That's too expensive for people that are broke to afford, for example, $300, or it is something that's not that expensive, but it's not really something that's solving a problem for those people that are willing to pay $1,000, right? It's not such a premium level item where they're really gonna save time, because that's what a lot of these high ticket people want to buy. They want to buy something that saves them time and that makes them more money while they're at it. So in the end of the day, what is the thing you're gonna sell? You need to sit down, you need to think about it. Think about the thing you're going to sell. Yes, you identified a problem. Yes, you identified a solution. But more than that, you need to sit down and soak in how you're going to sell it. Understand that selling something doesn't mean, oh, I found the problem, I found the solution. Now I'm just going to go out there and knock on doors and sell it and hopefully things work out. No, make a plan. Understand how you're going to sell it. Are you going to make ads? Are you going to do cold emails and cold calls? Are you going to go door knocking? And that is the form of doing it. But more than that, what is the pricing that you're going to do? What is it that you're going to offer? And is this offer really make sense? And does it really allow scalability? Which is another concept you need to understand when it comes to selling it. When you want to sell a product, you found a problem, you found a solution. When you sell something that has a good offer, that has good scalability, that you can sell either very expensive, low amount of people, very low price to a lot of people, to everyone, and at the same time, something that you could scale, right? That it can go further than just, you sell to 100 people and you've hit your limit and that's it. make something that has the availability to scale you further and further and further. For example, I was previously doing finance coaching, and part of the struggle with finance coaching was the struggle with scalability. As long as I was coaching, I wasn't going to have a limited time to be able to coach more and more and more and more. I understood that scalability was an issue when it came to this. I could hire more finance coaches, but that comes with its own coaches, that comes with its own struggles, and that also comes again with being able to have enough clients where I'm able to afford my salary and afford someone else's, and be able to fill them up with the clients that they have and fill myself up. And again, the same issue comes back again and again. This issue of scalability was a reality for finance coaching in my case of where I was working and the business that I was doing previously. But I want you to sit down and understand this. Identify a problem. What is the problem in the niche that you have? Identify the solution and how you're solving that pain that is going on for the business owner or for the client that you're working with. And make sure that the offer that you're giving is an offer that is good, that is solid, that is not in the middle, that is more of a either very cheap for everyone or very high for exclusive people, but that you sell 10 of those and you've already made it for almost a whole year, right? And again, scalability within that offer. So keep those things in mind when it comes to starting a business. If I started a business again, I would go back to where I went when I was a kid, where it was sitting at the feet of a business owner, understanding how the business worked, understanding how this niche and the struggle was, bringing a solution. And honestly, if I could go back, I would have realized that I had the solution in my hands this whole time, and I would have started the business even much sooner. So sit down, take out the time, follow these steps, identify the problem with whatever niche you need to find. And if, hey, you need to go into certain businesses and offer your services for free, do that. Begin to do that if you have that availability, and that way you could begin to learn the struggles of this niche, find the solution, bring the solution, make it something that you can sell. Again, keep in mind that being able to build a business requires hard work, being consistent, and showing up every single time. Stop looking for complex business models. Find a simple problem, sell a simple system, be the solution to whatever problem it is that exists. And keep in mind that if you make it something that's really easy to sell and you make a good product that is sellable, you will scale. You will be able to make it to the next level with whatever plans you have and accomplish your goals. Follow these 3 steps. And again, if you are interested in more, hit the subscribe button, put a comment, give it a like, and follow the page. All right. See you in the next one.